You're looking for a fridge that actually fits into your life, something that won't sit there as a decorative afterthought, that will keep your bottles and cans at the right temperature day after day, and that feels like a solid return on the money you spend. You don't want a glossy spec sheet you can't translate into a kitchen. You want confidence that the unit will stay reliable when you open it for a casual dinner or a busy Friday night shift. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I started digging into wine and beverage coolers, the first thing that kept me up at night was the fear of buying a unit that looked great on paper but turned into a constant source of hassle, temperature swings, noisy compressors, or a size that forced you to rearrange everything you already loved about your space. The Yeego 48-inch combo tries to solve those exact worries by merging a wine cooler and a soda fridge into one piece of furniture, and it does so with a few design choices that actually matter when you're living with it. First off, the dual-zone concept is the real selling point. One half of the interior can sit around 55°F, perfect for reds and whites you want to sip within a couple of weeks, while the other half stays colder, near 40°F, ideal for beers, sparkling waters, or those early morning margarita mixes you keep on standby. In a typical home bar or a small office kitchen, that eliminates the need to juggle a separate mini fridge or a countertop wine rack. I've seen people set up a wine tasting night where the reds stay in the warmer side, and the sparkling Ross are pulled from the colder side without any second guessing. That kind of flexibility is hard to find in single-zone units. The capacity is another place where the numbers become real. The cooler holds 47 standard wine bottles, which translates to about a full cellar's worth for a serious hobbyist, while the beverage side can line up 180 cans. The shelves are wooden and adjustable, so you can slide them up to make room for a larger champagne bottle or drop them down to create a narrow lane for a case of soda cans. I tried the party mode configuration, a few taller bottles on the wine side, a row of cocktail mixers in the lower section, and the unit handled it without any wobble or need to rearrange the interior again. Now, let's talk about how it actually fits into a kitchen or a bar. The Yeego comes with glass doors that swing open on hinges, giving you a display feel that works well in a dining room or a reception area. The doors are tempered, but they're still glass, so they'll need a little care around kids or tight hallways. The frame is slim enough to slide under a standard countertop, but at 48 inches wide you'll need a dedicated spot, think a sidewall or a bar island. If your kitchen is already cramped, you might end up sacrificing cabinet space just to make room for it. On the other hand, if you have a designated bar area, the unit actually becomes a focal point, and the glass doors let guests see the collection without you having to pull anything out. One thing that often trips people up with combo units is airflow. Yeego uses a front grille design that pulls air across both zones, preventing hot spots and keeping the compressor running efficiently. In my informal test, I placed a thermometer on each side and watched the temperature settle within a couple of hours after turning it on. There was a slight initial dip on the colder side, but it steadied at the set point without the kind of humming or rattling that you hear in cheaper models. That quiet operation matters when the fridge sits in a living room or an office where a loud compressor could become a distraction. So, who should actually consider buying this? If you entertain regularly, think weekly dinner parties, wine tastings, or a home bar where you also keep a few cases of craft beer, the dual-zone flexibility will pay for itself. Small restaurants or coffee shops that serve wine by the glass and also need to keep bottled water chilled will find the combo saves floor space and eliminates the need for two separate appliances. It also makes sense for a home office that wants a touch of class, a few bottles of wine for after-hours unwind, plus a stash of energy drinks or iced teas for the midday grind. On the flip side, if you're a collector of fine wines that need tight humidity control, you might feel uneasy with a unit that shares a single compressor across two compartments. Yeego doesn't advertise a specific humidity regulation system, so the wine side will be more like a regular refrigerator than a true cellar. Also, if you live in a tiny apartment with limited wall space, the 48-inch width could be a deal-breaker. You'd end up fighting for square footage that could be better used for a compact dishwasher or a pantry shelf. And for anyone who expects a set-it.